first thing I want to talk about is an incident that happened during 50 Cent's concert, and a lot of people have been asking me to talk about it. I was initially kind of going to avoid it because I didn't know if what was being reported was very accurate. Some of it is, but there is some kind of behind the scenes information that I got that isn't being reported, at least to TMZ or any of these outlets that are reporting on the incident. So if you guys don't know, 50 Cent is doing his final lap tour, touring all across America, then going globally. He's going to add like dates in Africa, dates in India, all these different locations as well. So he's not done adding dates, but while out in California, he brought out like literally better guests than he did in New York, which is wild to me. Like the people in California got a fucking amazing show. Like they got Nas, they got YG, they got Tyga, they got who else, man? They got a bunch of people, man. And I was like, damn, they're lucky as shit. They got a lot of guests, a lot of dope surprise guests. Lil Wayne was supposed to be there. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's talk about the mic throwing incident. So what happened basically was on Wednesday, August 30th, while performing, at the crypto arena, crypto.com arena, used to be known as Staples. There was a series of events that happened where YG was performing and then 50 Cent's mics weren't working. He was sitting there, he tried the first mic, shit wasn't working, chucked it kind of at his stage crew, whatever, that set up the whole thing, and their audio crew that's there for the performances. Chucked the first one and then got a second one, and this is where it kind of ticked him off because he tried performing and that shit wasn't working. What makes the situation hilarious is that like when 50 got mad, everybody was like kind of on edge, the people that were around that area. So it was interesting to see, Uncle Murda kind of jump out the way and be like, what the fuck is going on? So 50 then chucks the second mic, and apparently this second mic hit a media personality from Power 106 in the head. And it looked like it actually did some damage to her skull almost. The photos are pretty bad. She's bleeding, a lot. And then, there's photos of her like her hands getting scratched up and messed up, and people were like, how did that happen? But I'm sure if somebody chucks a heavy mic at your head, you're going to knock over, you're going to fall over. You're not going to just stand there and take it, especially if you're in a crowd, you're moving around. Who knows if you're intoxicated, maybe you're a little, tipsy because, you can get drinks at the concert. So she got hit in the head, and, it's a pretty gory type of photo. But based off the photos, it seems like she's doing all right. It's not too crazy of an incident. And then TMZ reported that, and this is information that I got, and then TMZ reported as well, that she was in a restricted area, meaning if you guys don't know, at concerts, they have certain areas for certain people, right? You get media passes where if you're part of the media, you get to be up close to take photos, videos. There is sections for that. And then you got, production crew area where only the production crew can be at. And that's probably where she was at, somewhere between media and production crew area. Maybe she didn't know she was in a restricted area. So when 50's chucking the mic, she's going to, he's assuming he's throwing it at his production crew, getting mad at them, and just chucks it. And, it hit somebody that's not part of the production crew. And it's unfortunate. Obviously, 50's in the wrong in this situation. And TMZ just saying that she was in a restricted area and that the rapper didn't intentionally target her. Obviously, he didn't intentionally target her. I'm sure he knows who's in his production crew staff and that she wasn't one of them. He just got pissed, chucked the mics, and it's a very unfortunate situation. So going over, everything, TMZ reported that the lady filed battery charges. According to TMZ report, on Thursday, August 31st, the woman who was hit, Power 106 radio host Brianna Moingane, filed a police report the night of the incident on Wednesday, August 30th. Law enforcement sources told the outlet they believe 50 threw the mic at his crew in the production area and hit the victim. Monigane, I don't know how to pronounce her last name, reportedly told cops 50 looked directly at her before throwing the mic, so she believes the rapper knew she was there. Let's all remember 50 Cent's aim is horrible when he's chucking things. You guys remember that 2014 footage of when he's chucking the baseball? Like, he literally misses the whole fucking target by, like, miles. Like, that guy, if he's going to chuck anything, get the fuck out the way and duck down because he has horrible aim. So I'm sure he was aiming for the production crew, which is kind of fucked up in its own sense, to be throwing mics at your production crew. But, for her to say that, hey, he saw her and he intentionally chucked it at her, like, what does 50 have against her that, that he would just be like, oh, yeah, I just hate this hate this woman. I'm just going to chuck it at her for no fucking reason. So that's kind of just like a lawsuit type of thing where like, yeah, 50 saw me. He looked directly at me and intentionally did it. I understand her, because he's trying to get money out of the situation, which I would be too. I'd be, if I was in the same situation, I'd be like, yo, I'm trying to get some bread out of the situation. In a statement, 50's lawyer Scott Lehman told the outlet, let's be very clear, as I told LAPD this afternoon, my client Curtis, a.k.a. 50 Cent, would never intentionally strike anyone with a microphone. Anyone saying something different doesn't have all the facts and is misinformed. And then 50 continued. He had a couple of shows actually in Los Angeles, and he's still actually in California. He's going to go in Sacramento, I think, as of the recording of this podcast. So, the whole incident is unfortunate. Accidents happen. Shit happens on tour lots of times. It's good that nobody died in the situation, because if he would have chucked that mic and, the lady actually got killed, suffered like brain damage or something really, really bad, then that would have been a huge, huge incident. The Game, of course, took this as an opportunity to bash 50 Cent. And it seems like, man, in today's time, it seems like Game is only getting coverage for what he says about other people. It seems like Game hasn't gotten coverage in a lot of different, this is what makes the Game not as respected as an artist, because he just comments on things and the focus isn't on the music anymore. And it's unfortunate because Game could rap his ass off, but this is the only time when the Game really gets coverage is when he mentions Eminem, 50, Dre, anything along the lines of that, G-Unit, whatever the case may be. He ended up posting TMZ's post on his Instagram story and said this: Curtis, yo fat ass came to LA hitting women, with a little like emoji thinking. So, that's Game's kind of rebuttal to everything. When Game should be, honestly, I think the last person talking about women, because, he's dealing with the whole situation of SA. I want to say what it is, but now that we're posting a lot of these clips on social media, I got to watch what I say. But you guys know what SA means. It involves sexual assault, whatever. But he's dealing with that when it comes to women. So for him to even comment on this shit like this is just hilarious, man. The fact that he finds any jab that he can get at 50. It's unfortunate, man, because Game's career really took a whole left field, man. Had he just been more loyal and kind of, down to earth and chill, he would have been in a whole different position in life, which is crazy when you think about it. But there was some cool news after that, though. Because the mics weren't working, Lil Wayne was reportedly was going to be a surprise guest at 50 Cent's show, which I would have loved to see. And that's what I mean. Like, that Los Angeles show had a bunch of guests, man. It was amazing. J. Cole even showed up again. Like, LA got a really, really dope-ass show. But let's go over the article. Lil Wayne was reportedly due to appear as a special guest at one of 50 Cent's Los Angeles shows this week, but he ended up leaving the venue before even getting on stage. This is interesting as to why he left. According to Page 6, Weezy was supposed to come out during 50's performance at the Crypto.com Arena on Wednesday, August 30th. Incidentally, the same show where 50 Cent hit the Power 106 personality with a microphone. Unfortunately, one of 50's Backstage crew reportedly pushed Lil Wayne just as he was ready to go on, which bothered him. It's not clear whether the push was accidental or not, but what's clear is that Lil Wayne stormed out of the backstage area and away from the concert. He just stormed out, said the Backstage source to the outlet. He was in the building for about 20 minutes total. And Lil Wayne's been known to kind of leave shows and just kind of stop shows midway. Like, I remember, a couple of months ago where one of Lil Wayne's artists was performing and the people were like booing him because he was performing and they wanted Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne was like, nah, like, this is my artist. Y'all not going to disrespect my artist. I'm not performing now either. Which is like, honestly, I commend that, because the audience should not be booing any artist performing up there unless they're just horrible or they're just doing something really, really bad. But yeah, like, you're booing a brand new artist trying to make it. Lil Wayne's trying to put him on. That is Lil Wayne's business and assets. So to be booing something like that, I 100% agree with Lil Wayne. And ironically, like a day later, he tried performing at Beyonce's Renaissance tour as a surprise guest. His microphone wasn't working there as well. 50 Cent, of course, reacted to the situation and said this, which is kind of hilarious because I think it's true. He basically said, looking eyes emoji, damn, only thing left is Taylor Swift's show. He said, I fired everyone involved in the audio department. If the mic don't work, your ass don't work here. Of course, everybody's laughing at that fucking cool. Hey, man. Hey, you got fired because you ain't doing your fucking job right. I don't blame him at one bit. But yeah, Lil Wayne tried performing at Beyonce's Renaissance tour as well. It didn't go well. Mics weren't working. So seems like Taylor Swift is the only one getting things properly done. And Drake. I haven't heard anything of happening on Drake's event where his mics were going bad. But overall, man, the whole thing, regardless, people in Los Angeles probably got the best show. They got the best guests. They got the most people showing up, which was, I honestly expected New York to have that, which was cool. We got Fat Joe when I went there, Young and May. But a lot of the people 50 brought out in New York were really either one-hit wonders or just people that, like Fat Joe is cool. I don't know, Bobby Shmurda, Young and May, the guy Fresher who had that wait a minute. Like, people barely remember those tracks. I think he brought out a couple other people, but these guys are like one-hit wonders, and people were just like, who are these people? Or people just weren't really vibing with it. In New York, I was expecting like Nas, I don't know, some shit, A Boogie with a hoodie, something, man. Something like Cardi B, I would have enjoyed, or Nicki Minaj or something. But I know Nicki lives, I think, in LA, so a lot of celebrities, quote unquote, live in LA. So it makes sense that they get the most out of their guests. But overall, it would have been cool to see Lil Wayne and 50 on stage, man. That would have been really, really cool, especially because 50, I think a couple weeks ago, said he would really want to do a song with Lil Wayne. He thinks that would be dope, so I would love to hear that as well. That's long overdue, and if that brings 50 out of like the music shit and continues making music, that's good. So, yeah, overall, I think it's unfortunate what happened with the mic throwing incident. I think she is going to get some type of money out of the situation, as she should. I think 50's kind of going to remedy the situation quick because he knows that, hey, I'm in the wrong situation. She is in a restricted area, so I think what they're going to do is, at least what I would do in this situation, is kind of convince her, hey, you were in a restricted area. We can take this to court, or you can just kind of settle quick and get whatever you want, $50,000, $100,000, boom, be done with the situation and move on. So, yeah, we'll keep our eye on that and see if there's actually any court updates or anything that happens out of the situation.